Hey guys, how's it going? It's Baggins here, and today we are going to be taking a look at the Heart Gem runes, or Heartrunes. They seem to be changing their name with like little micro patches. These are basically like a brand new weapon slash ability slash item that you can equip to your character, and they're going to be available with the Brimstone Sands slash two-handed greatsword update. Now I got a hands-on chance to check these out with the special London creator sneak peek gameplay. You can see some of that on the channel. We'll put some links to videos at the end of this one and in the description down below. Right now we are on New World Database. I'll put a link to this website in the description down below. Very useful website and tool for any information about New World. But as I mentioned, today I'm going to try in my best to explain what the Heart Gem runes, or Heartrunes, I guess we'll call them now. That seems to be what they're called as of this update. The Heartrunes are basically a new item that you can equip to your character. I believe they're only available for level 60, and they come in 3 different rarities right now with like 5 different abilities. So you can kind of think of it as a third weapon slot. It's by default now it's going to be the G key. It drags in just under your weapons, and basically this is going to be like another weapon that doesn't have any stats. It doesn't scale off of any stats, but it has one ability tied to it, and that ability depends on which heart rune you equip. So the 5 that I got to see, and I believe the 5 that are going to be in the game with the release of Brimstone Sands, are the Stone Form rune, the Detonate rune, the Grasping Vines rune, the Dark Ascent or Heretic's Fall rune, and the Cannon Blast rune. Now they all kind of do what you would think the name implies. So with the Stone Form one here, you can see down below it says, harden yourself with layers of stone, cleansing all crowd control debuffs and granting immunity to both stagger and crowd control debuffs for 5 seconds. So it's a cleanse, and then it's also CC immunity for 5 seconds. So this is going to be very valuable in small scale PvP like 3v3 arena. The different runes also have these like added affixes on them as well. So you can see here we've got Greater, Stalwart, and Brutal. There's also Cunning. I believe on the version that we get to play on the test server, it was like the Dominators, the Greater, and the Survivor. So they all seem to be like some sort of variants, but you can see with the Greater one here, it gives you Fortifying Form, so you get extra Fortify, and then another Fortify on top of that with Hardened Form. The Stalwart one has Mending Form, so it actually allows you to heal, and then the Brutal one, I guess, is a bit more damage. It says, yeah, Stone Form explodes when it expires, dealing 200% heart rune damage with a 3-meter radius, but the duration's reduced to 2 seconds. Yeah, so like a bit of a trade-off for some more aggression. Now, you guys might ask, Baggins, how do I come about acquiring these Heart Gem runes? To my understanding, you have to basically get these sort of blue versions here, these minor ones, which I think are a level 60 or end game only thing, because it is 500 gear score, and I also believe you have to complete a quest within the Brimstone Sands to initially start using them, but there is some citation needed there. Anyway, you can see the Stone Form rune here. It comes from our good friend Chardis, who is of course the final boss of Lazarus Instrumentality. If we go back and we take a look at the Detonate rune, this one drops from Heru, who is one of the bosses in the new Ennead expedition. And then we've got, of course, the Grasping Vines, and you guys may have guessed it, it drops from a boss in the dungeon. It's the Caretaker, who I believe is the first boss of Garden of Genesis, and so on and so forth. And then if you want to go ahead and upgrade these to the epic version, you have to take the prerequisite rune. So you can see here, you need the minor rune plus 25 runestone, which is actually pretty expensive. This stuff is on a daily cooldown. It's like the Asmodeum of stone cutting. You also need 5,000 Umbral Shards and 5 corrupted lodestone. And then again, if you want to go ahead and make the the extreme version, or the legendary version, I don't know why I'm calling it extreme, then you will need the epic version and some wooden coin, which I think you can collect from around the Brimstone Sands by doing like chest runs and stuff. You need ruby gypsum, 1,000 thorny vines, which I think, yeah, you just get these from like gathering, and 10 garnet gypsum. So this is a lot of PvP stuff actually for this one. This is from like 10, well, you get one of these per outpost rush, and you get one of these for arena, so you're gonna have to save up some of those if you want to get that one. Now the difference between the sort of blue ones is they just have the ability. The epic has an ability plus 1 perk, and the legendaries have an ability plus 2 perks. Now the Heart Gem runes are reusable. Like I say, you can kind of think of them as another weapon slot, but the weapon just has 1 ability, and of course it's kind of like an ultimate ability. So the you can see down in the bottom right of the gameplay here that there's a charge meter going up. So as you're in combat, whether you are taking damage, dealing damage, blocking, or healing, that will all charge up your heart gem. Once it gets to maximum charge, you can press the G key whenever you want, and that will activate the ability. From then, it fully depletes, and you've just got to charge it up again. I think you can charge it pretty fast if you're in combat with lots of enemies, and to my understanding, these work the same in PvP as PvE, but I didn't actually get a chance to check them out in PvP. When it comes to swapping them out, I'm going to assume it's the same as weapons in that there is the, the in-combat timer, so you can't swap while you're in the middle of combat, and I'm going to also assume that if you swap one when you get out of combat, all of the sort of rune juice, or whatever you want to call it, the meter, will be depleted, and you'll have to sort of charge it back up again. One thing that I did notice when I was playing on the PTR is after dying, my meter did remain the same, so dying doesn't deplete the heart gem rune meter or the Heartrune meter. Now, because of the hefty investment in getting to a legendary version of one of these, I would encourage you guys to go ahead and just experiment with the blue versions first. So you're gonna have to go in and kill quite a few bosses. Well, actually, I don't know if it's a guaranteed drop, but this one down here, the Cannon Blast rune, does look like it comes from a quest. Actually, it does say quest reward from Secrets of the Heart Gem. So yeah, I assume this is how you sort of unlock the very first one, and I'm gonna suspect that is in the Brimstone Sands. When it comes to crafting, they do involve using stone cutting, so you're gonna have to make sure that you got your stone cutting skill leveled up. I'm gonna imagine that in order to make the legendary ones, it's probably gonna be max level stone cutting, if not very close to it. So far, my opinions on the power level of the Heartrunes is that Cannon Blast and Dark Ascent, or Heretic's Fall, are kind of at the lower tier. They seemed a bit underwhelming in my opinion, although the Heretic's Fall Dark Ascent did have a lot of lifesteal. The Grasping Vine seems like it's the most potent and powerful in PvP, as it is a 4 meter 3-second AoE root that also can weaken and rend opponents, which is pretty damn strong. And the Stone Form Room, of course, for being a cleansing, remove CC and prevent you from being CC'd for another 5 seconds, also very, very strong. The Detonate rune, I'm not quite sure on. Depends how much damage it can actually do, but I do think there's going to be a lot of value in getting multiple people to detonate on the point at the same time, or even timing it in certain big waves of mobs within a mutated expedition to quickly clear a room and move to the next one. I think these are going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be another element to sort of add into the build. When it says rune damage on some of them, this one in particular I believe is arcane damage, but I could be wrong. One thing that I did notice as well when using the runes was that the Dark Ascent or Heretic's Fall rune seemed to do void damage. I'm going to imagine the Grasping Vines does nature damage. Probably the Detonate rune is either going to be fire or arcane or something, and the Cannon Blast rune might be strike or fire damage. So they do seem to sort of respect the current existing damage types in the game. It's not like there's a brand new type of rune damage in the game. They do go off of the pre-existing damage types within New World. So there it is, guys. That is a quick explanation of Heartrunes and how they work in New World, how you can acquire them. I'm very excited to see these come in with the Brimstone Sands. I think, to my understanding, rather than up the gear score and sort of continue pushing the ceiling higher and higher, they wanted to expand horizontally and give different ways of players to acquire power, and these definitely do seem to be adding to player power level within the game. It is going to be a case of if you don't have one, you're going to have to get one, especially to be competitive in PvP. So make sure you got that stone cutting leveled up. Maybe make sure you go ahead and save up some rune stone as well. When this is available on the PTR, I highly recommend you go check it out and see how it works for yourself. It was a lot of fun for me to play with them. And again, I'll put links to New World Database and the patch notes for this big update in the description down below. As always, guys, if you enjoyed this one, make sure you go ahead and click the like button, subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys all in the next video.